Hi, this is Mr. B from B-Town Mathematics, and we're going to look at operations on integers, which are just positive and negative numbers, and we're going to focus on subtracting this time. Hopefully you have already learned about the addition rules. Addition rules are very important to get in your mind and to be really good at, because subtraction is going to depend on how good you are at addition rules. So right here is our notes. Hopefully you've got this sheet right in front of you. Let's take a few notes right here. Of course, in the big box right here, let's put our words here. Subtraction. Make a large title. Yeah, make it real big, just like that. And let's take a look here at some models. Of course, we're going to start off with a couple models right here, and then we're going to talk more kind of how subtraction works a little bit and make some observations. So in our first example, we have -8 minus -5, which means we're going to start at -8. Here's our starting point right here. So we can go ahead and put a point right here at -8. And I want us to think about what would happen if it was -8 plus -5. What would we do in the case of addition? So a little review here. If I was adding -5, that would mean I'm going in this direction toward the negative side 5 spaces, right? So -8 plus -5, moving in the negative direction 5 spaces, but we're not adding -5, we're subtracting it, which means we're going to go in the opposite direction. So here we are. That means we're going in this direction 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we would land right here at -3. So just as a quick review, we're starting at -8. We're going in the opposite direction of what we would do if we were adding. That means we're moving in the positive direction, +5 here. So we're not moving toward the negative direction, which is telling us here if I was adding -5, but we're moving in that opposite way of -5. So that's adding 5 onto it just like this. And we end up at -3. So this problem looks familiar. It looks as if it would be the same problem as if I started at -8 and I added a positive 5. I'm just going to write it like this. So -8 plus a positive 5 would be the exact same scenario as what we see here. Starting at -8, moving in the positive direction, 5 spaces. And so these two math problems are the same. They end up with the exact same answers. This and that. Same answers right here. Let's take a look at one other example. Let's take a look at -4 minus 3. So in this example, we're going to go ahead and start at -4. So I'm going to place a point here. And I'm going to think to myself, -4. Now this is actually, I'm not thinking this. I'm just pointing this out. If I was doing -4 plus 3, I would be moving in the positive direction 3 jumps. That's -4 plus 3. But I'm not doing that. I'm going in the opposite of addition. So I'm going in the opposite direction, and I'm going to be moving this direction 3 spaces because I'm subtracting a positive 3. That right there is a positive 3. So this is -4 minus a positive 3, and I'm going in the opposite direction than when I would add a positive 3. So I'm going in this direction, and I end up at -7. So our answer is -7 here. This looks familiar. This would be the same problem as starting at -4 and adding a -3. These two would both look the same on a number line and end up with the same answer. So -4 plus a -3 ends up exactly the same spot as -4 minus a positive 3. So let's look at some of these similarities here. I see that subtracting a number is a lot like adding a number. Do you see some things that are the same and some things that are different? We do see that the same thing is the first number. -8, -8. The starting place is always the same. We're always starting on the same point. So that didn't change at all. We do notice the operation of subtraction can be rewritten as an addition problem. But we also have to change that number to its opposite. So here we uncover the rule for subtraction. The addition rules right here are review. So let's just review addition. When the signs are the same, comma, we add the absolute values and use that sign. Here we know that if the signs are different, then we are going to subtract. And then we'll use the sign of the greater absolute value. Subtraction is going to be a very easy rule. We are going to rewrite the problem. Rewrite the problem as an addition problem. That would be the simplest way. Instead of looking at a subtraction problem, let's just rewrite it so that we're looking at an addition problem. So we're going to rewrite the problem as an addition problem by adding the opposite. Remember those two words, adding and the opposite, because there are two changes to make. So we've got a couple of examples down here. Let's just rewrite these subtraction problems as an addition problem, and then all we have to do is follow the addition rules, just like we're pretty good at all anyway. So here's -10. Remember, the starting point is always the same. We always start the same place. But then this is what changes. We change this to an addition symbol. We've got that down. And we change this to its opposite. So instead of a +8, we say -8. Put that in parentheses just because I don't like to have two symbols right next to each other. I'm going to give you a second on the second one here. If you guys can pause right here, put your answers in, and then unpause and we'll check our answers. So here we have the same starting point, -6. We change this. We're going to rewrite that as an addition problem, and we want to have the opposite of that number there, so a +7 is what we'll place here. So -6 and a +7 added together, we can find the answer to that. We would follow our rules of addition. The signs are different. We're going to subtract. So this is going to end up being a +1. And over here on the first one, we didn't answer that. We don't have to answer it. I just really wanted some practice in rewriting it. But if we answered this, we see that the signs are the same. So we're going to add those numbers together, get 18, and both of those are negative, so a -18 is our answer for this subtraction problem. And those are the rules for subtraction.